When you're connecting with nature, you are in contact with earth. When you're contact with earth, you're contact with mud. Okay, mud gives you amazing, a very rich microbiome to the body, which is why a lot of parents restrict their children from playing in mud when they're small. Okay, that's the biggest mistake you're making. Another reason why a lot of people, despite taking their supplements, still don't have optimum results, still don't have optimal blood markers, because they're not getting the right dosage. So there are a lot of supplements available. So it's don't dismiss supplements, because there are a lot of options, a lot of powerful supplements that can really help, that can really change the way your health is. It can transform your health, provided you get the right advice. I'm not in favor of injections, because I feel it's very difficult to monitor your levels when you take injections.
Namaskar, welcome to the Meeting Point podcast. I'm Sarika, your host. Now, today's podcast is on a very pressing matter. It is on supplements. Who should take the supplements, when to take them, why to take the supplements? Don't we get enough nutrition from the food that we eat? What about brain health? And many such topics have been discussed in today's podcast, but in connection to supplements. We have invited Aaakassh Ramchandani, who is the founder of Sutraleticss and also an integrative health coach. And we're going to talk a lot about supplements. So without spending much time, let us begin the conversation. Hi Aaakassh, welcome back to the Meeting Point podcast.
Great pleasure to come back. Always a pleasure to be here.
Because you are a storehouse of information, knowledge. So I have to keep getting back.
Pleasure is always mine. Always good to empower people with more and more knowledge.
Yes, absolutely.
So why not?
Yeah. And today we are going to talk about supplements. So, to begin with, how do supplements differ from the actual food that we take or the medicines that we take?
So ideally, we want all our nutrition, all our micro and macronutrients coming from food itself. But because of certain factors, certain lifestyle factors, modern day factors, modern day lifestyle that we have today, we are unable to get certain nutrients from food.
Okay.
So to bridge that gap, that's where supplements come in. We all know most people don't really get the nutrition they need from food.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, how many of us even get real food? First of all, okay, let's go on. Let's regress a bit.
Yeah.
How many of us even know what real food is?
Real food is. Today,
okay, most of us
no idea.
think the perception of real food differs from person to person.
Yeah.
The truth is far from that.
Yeah.
In today's times, with so much processed food available and everything marketed so beautifully with the health tag, and now everything is organic, everything is herbal. You anything can sell under the word Ayurveda. You put Ayurveda on something, people think it's healthy. You put herbal, you put organic, people think it's healthy. So if you're not getting real food, and the body thrives only on real food.
Yeah.
Right?
Where is the supplement?
It's designed. There is a very interesting debate.
Okay.
That you probably may have heard, that ancestors never needed supplements. Why do we need supplements now?
So many times, yeah.
So that's a very, very popular discussion and debate, that people think that 100 years back, people never took supplements, and why do we need so much supplements more? But they don't understand that why are you comparing only the supplements? Compare everything. Compare the lifestyle, compare the environment, compare the food that we're getting.
People don't want to talk about how sedentary they are.
Compare the activity level, compare the quality of food that we're getting.
True.
Compare the pesticides and chemicals that are used in fields, in agriculture.
Yeah.
All the fruits and vegetables are sprayed with so much pesticides and chemicals.
True.
Compare the bioavailability of real food.
Yeah.
The absorption with time, even our body's ability to absorb certain nutrients decline.
Yeah.
With age, absorption declines. So there's a vast difference. And let me tell you another thing. In those days, people were still taking supplements.
They
were still taking, but they were taking natural supplements. They were taking a lot of natural extracts from nature, powders, leaves, herbs. plants were used as supplements.
Yes.
Okay, but they were still taking them. Maybe they would not call them as supplements, but if you look back, what were they? They were actually supplements.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of meat that was eaten in those days were eaten with a lot of their tissues and their bones and their broths and soups were made of that. Very, very nutritive. Now what happens is, if you see, I'm not a non-vegetarian, I'm a vegetarian. But when you buy meat or when you cook meat and all, there is a lot of stuff that actually is thrown away, which may contain a lot of nutrition, but it just thrown away. So you don't really get all the nutrition from that. So you're basically depleting a lot of nutrition from food nowadays. Looking at microbiome, gut microbiome. Do you know that earlier days, say 100 years back, or even more, people were farmers. They were probably more connected with nature, working in fields. Now, when you're working in fields, when you're connecting with nature, you are in contact with earth. When you're in contact with earth, you're in contact with mud. Okay, mud gives you a very rich microbiome to the body, which is why a lot of parents restrict their children from playing in mud when they're small. Okay, that's the biggest mistake you're making, because then your kids are now going to be able to develop natural immunity. Natural immunity comes from the microbiome. When they play in the mud, when they play in the soil, when they play with all these stones and all that, which parents think, oh, it's dirty and everything. But that's where the natural immunity comes from. So all this was there with the ancestors. And if you compare all that now, all that is gone. So definitely it causes a huge impact on your gut microbiome, on your immunity, and therefore the need for supplements. Also, there are a lot of pathways in the body, a lot of functions that the body does. So every function that the body does has certain pathways. Now what happens is that due to lifestyle factors, due to our environment, due to certain pathologies, metabolic disorders, there are a lot of these pathways get obstructed. So let's say if something is to be done in a certain way, because of these lifestyle factors, because of certain deficiencies, the body is unable to perform those functions. Those pathways are obstructed. That's where also supplements can come in and help to facilitate the body, to enable those pathways being performed the way they should be. So the body basically is able to work better to its full potential, which sometimes does not happen because of certain deficiencies.
All right. So then who should have the supplements to begin with?
We don't blindly give the same supplements to everyone. Yes, there are a couple of foundation supplements that everybody needs to take. But if you look, just to give an example, if you look at athletes, or if you look at, say, now, if I talk about biohackers, which is pretty trending now and everybody understands them. But if you look at the top 5 or 10 biohackers in the world, Brian Johnson, Dave Asprey, Ben Greenfield, Peter Attia, just some names. I'm just throwing some names. Now, if you look at their supplementation protocol, there's definitely a difference between each one of them. Each one of them take. Yes, some of them, there will be a couple of common elements between them, which form the foundation supplements. But then everybody will have their own favorites. Everybody will take certain supplements that will only work for them. Okay, which is why we cannot copy a supplementation plan. It has to be customized.
Correct.
There are a lot of factors that we look into before we plan a supplementation program. We should never blindly just follow just because a celebrity or a biohacker is taking a supplement and it's working wonderfully for him and he says it's managed to reverse his age for 5 or 10 years. Doesn't mean the same supplement is going to work for you as well.
Correct.
We need to use a little bit of apply science, apply logic, apply a bit of common sense, and then see that supplement actually going to work for you or not. And to make it absolutely right, I would say always take advice of the right people, which is your functional medicine doctor, somebody who understands nutraceuticals, a clinical dietitian. If it's something to do with sports supplements, then somebody who understands sports nutrition, sports supplementation. Correct. That's a separate field, where the people who work in that field. So getting expert guidance rather than just blindly taking something.
Just don't go over the
because it's very easy to get into that trap. You take 5, you take 6, that 6 becomes 8, 8 becomes 10, and then you're like, oh, you know what, this one's taking this one, this one's taking this one, and somebody see something on social media saying that, oh, I took this supplement and I've had fantastic results and I feel like I'm 20 years old, or so all this is very, very misleading. Okay, I'm not doubting it. This doesn't work for that person. Maybe it does work for that person. Maybe that 50-year-old person is feeling like 20-year-old person because of that one supplement. But there is no guarantee that same supplement is going to work for you. Yeah, especially looking at your whole blood markers, your profile. And if you want to go deeper, then we can also look into your genetic profile. We can also look into epigenetics. We can look at genetic mutations, which supplements work for you, which supplements will not work for you. So there are a lot of factors.
All those factors.
Yeah. So it's always good to stick to your foundation supplements, which are pretty safe and work great for everyone. But in addition to that, if you want to take supplements, then always better to get some expert advice from the right people who understand supplements.
Great.
There's something I just thought of, since this is a podcast of primarily supplements. We need to send the right message across. So, which is why I want to address this it's a very important thing that the whole idea of doing this podcast about supplements is not to tell people that to take more supplements and to tell people that don't focus on your diet, don't focus on your nutrition, don't focus on exercise and lifestyle, and to only start taking supplements. Okay, unlike other people, some people may say that, but please understand that is not the purpose of this podcast. There is no replacement for lifestyle, nutrition, and exercise. That will always be primary.
Absolutely.
This is just the icing on the cake. I think in last time's podcast, I did talk about this, that if you look at an ice cream cone and you look at toppings on a cone, toppings are not necessary, but they just enhance the flavor. They enhance the experience. Supplements are your toppings. They can really optimize your health, give that extra boost, but they will never replace your actual ice cream and actual cone.
Absolutely.
So what nutrition you get from food, you're not going to get that from supplements.
Correct.
Okay, so that's the message. So again, I'm repeating that we are not saying that do not take natural food, real food. There is no replacement for real food. Supplements are just an add-on. They are great for deficiencies. They're great to bridge that gap that we don't get from food. But they will never replace food.
And also another reason we are doing this is because there's so much of information out there. So many myths about it.
There's so much information and it's marketed so beautifully that it is very easy for people to get convinced to fall into that trap. That supplements, and that we have to take so many supplements. This is important for us. If we have 10 conditions, that we need one supplement for different things. One for this, one for this, one for this, one for this, and at the end of the day, you are popping down so many supplements without really focusing on the quality of food that you're eating.
So going to some of the myths and misconceptions, let's break those before we go deeper into the subject here. Okay, so are supplements meant only for bodybuilders or athletes, or can regular people also take them, of course under the right advice?
So, if we look at preventive healthcare and symptomatic healthcare, everything that we do in terms of a lifestyle change or a lifestyle improvement in terms of nutrition, in terms of exercise, it all comes under preventive healthcare. Supplements also come under preventive healthcare. Prevention is better than cure. If we know something is wrong today, why do we wait for a problem to happen? Let's nip it in the bud. If we do a blood test and it shows vitamin D level is really low, it's deficient, we have a deficiency of D3, we don't want to wait for the levels to dip lower, right? We immediately take a supplement to fix that. So that's where supplements come in. So everybody needs to take supplements, at least foundation supplements, based on their blood reports, their blood markers, their lifestyle. A lot of supplements are made from extracts of natural compounds available in nature. The quality differs, depending on that. We will probably go into it a little later on the quality. Yes, the quality of supplements definitely differs, because you get a lot of poor quality supplements and you get a lot of high quality supplements. you get a lot of bioavailable supplements that the body can absorb very easily. And you get a lot of supplements with poor bioavailability where the body is unable to absorb that much. So you get all kinds of supplements. But that doesn't mean to say that all supplements are bad and we don't need to take supplements. They can definitely work for you. In fact, a lot of medical pathology, metabolic disorders, autoimmune conditions, supplements can really help in a lot of ways. And can really help in the overall treatment of the patient, of the person. So definitely don't dismiss them, don't ignore them. Take them if you need them. Take the ones you need, right? So dosage is very, very important. So underdosage and overdosage, both are a problem. If you need to take 5,000 IUs of D3 daily for a maintenance dose, that is to maintain your D3 levels for life. D3 is something that the levels keep fluctuating, and people don't understand that. They don't understand what is a maintenance dose, what is a deficiency dose. A deficiency is when your levels are really, really low, somewhere below 20, below 30. Okay, if your levels are more or less in the 40, 50, 60 range, then you need to go on a maintenance dosage. A maintenance dosage should be between 4,000 to 5,000 IUs daily. Not more, not less. But let's say you want to take 5,000 IUs daily, and you go to the pharmacy or go to a supplement store and you see this really nice, very nice international brand and 600 IUs. Okay, fancy label, and you get very tempted to buy that. You think that's probably good for you, and you pick up 600 IUs. And you're taking 600 IUs daily when you should be taking 5,000 IUs daily. Now, what do you think the 600 IUs is going to do to you when you actually need 5,000? Your definitely D levels are going to drop. So after 6 months, you're thinking, but I'm taking D3, but why is my blood report showing otherwise? But that's because you're not getting the recommended dosage. Okay, so that's another reason why a lot of people, despite taking their supplements, still don't have optimum results, still don't have optimal blood markers because they're not getting the right dosage.
So good quality. How do we identify which is a good brand? Or
so to, like I said, to make it, I'll give you a couple of ways to do this. Best is to get expert advice, do a consultation. Like we do a supplementation program consultation. Expert will tell you exactly, just blindly follow your plan. I would say that is the best way, or a functional medicine doctor or somebody who understands.
Yeah, we should leave it to the experts to tell us.
Or if you want to do it yourself, okay, that is again your call. There are certain standards that are there now, and it's a good thing we have these standards.
Okay.
So let me talk about 3. Now, if you follow these 3, you're pretty close to getting the right supplement that you need for your requirement.
Okay.
Okay. One is Labdoor. Labdoor is an international global certification kind of a standard for all supplements.
Okay.
You know, where they test all the supplements and they give you a rating. You know, right from A plus, B, C, D. Different ratings are there based on quality, based on accuracy.
On different supplements.
Whole range of supplements, but generally available in the US.
Okay.
Now, a lot of US supplements also have come to India. They have international distributors, and on Amazon, you get a lot of supplements.
Yeah.
Another thing is reading the label properly. Now, if a D3 supplement says 5,000 IUs, or if a magnesium supplement says 400 or 500 mg per single dosage, there is no way of telling that you are actually getting that 500 or 400 grams dosage, what is printed on the label. Okay, believe it or not. So just because it says 5,000 IUs, it says 400 mg of magnesium, doesn't mean it actually contains that much. Okay, so then there are, which is why a third party testing standard like Labdoor comes in the picture, and they test every supplement to verify the claims by the manufacturer.
Oh, that's so wrong, no? But
yeah,
I mean, I would look at the label and think, okay.
Exactly, right? That's but guess what? In today's world, we know that it's not a very perfect world. On paper, yes, if it says 400, it should be 400, but not necessarily. In fact, in whey protein also, there is a lot of spiking that happens. So if it says 25 grams or 30 grams of protein per serving, they put a lot of fillers, they put a lot of additives. Not necessarily you're getting that 25 or 30 grams of protein per serving. So then you have, so the supplement needs to be tested by a third party lab. A lot of supplements now, when you buy them, it comes with a lab report. So you know this supplement has been tested. So coming back to LabDoor. So LabDoor is one of the ways to tell you about quality, tell you about authenticity, tell you about purity. Okay, but you need to figure out the dosage. It's not going to help you with dosage. You need to know that if you need 500 grams of magnesium, you need to look for 500. LabDoor is not going to tell you that you need 500, you need 400. LabDoor just verifies the label. What the manufacturer claims, it just verifies that and gives you a rating based on that. On the same concept of LabDoor, there is another one called Unbox. Unbox.in. Is an Indian one. Yeah, just recently launched, and I'm very happy with the work that they're doing. So hats off to the guys who have started it. They are doing exactly what LabDoor is doing with Indian local supplements.
Oh, how nice.
Okay. So they have just started. So they have different categories. You will see collagen, you will see whey protein, you will see omega-3, magnesium, and day by day they're adding more and more supplements to their entire portfolio. So they're testing all the supplements and then giving you a label, giving you a rating. If it's just like LabDoor, A, B, C, there are some supplements who don't make the mark. Believe it or not, there's some supplements that you probably would have thought that these are really great supplements, high quality supplements, because they're selling a lot or they're marketing very well, or everybody knows about them. But when you look at them on unbox.in, probably with the C rating, that means so you don't want to be anywhere close to those supplements. You want to look at the ones that are A and A plus.
Correct.
Supplements. So Unbox is one that is primarily testing Indian supplements. Focus on Indian supplements that are available in the market. Okay. After this, there is another initiative taken by Luke, which are really, again, hats off to Luke. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
So Luke is doing the same thing, what Unbox is doing. He's taking supplements, he's inviting supplement brands, he's inviting the supplement companies to send him their products, and he will test them. And based on testing, he will give a rating to them. So all the supplements that are verified by Pink are tested by them, by the team, and then they're verified by Luke and Luke's team. And it's available on the website, it's available on social media. And again, just like Unbox, day by day they're adding more and more supplements there. And it's not, and the good thing is that Luke's not only doing it for supplements, he's doing it for food items, he's doing it for other products as well.
Yes.
Just general household food items, food products.
I recently saw his post on ghee.
So if you want to look at the best omega-3, if you want to look at the best organic jaggery, you want to look at the best vegan protein powder, everything is there on his website. So again, that makes it easier.
So we have LabDoor, Unbox, and now Luke's.
So these three. And honestly, if you get all these three together, you're pretty sorted. You're definitely going to get the right stuff amongst them. But again, not saying that the brands that they carry or the brands that they certify are the only ones that are there. There are also many other good legit brands, but for that you need to be in this in the same space. You need to be in the health and fitness space to understand the brands.
Correct.
But for somebody who doesn't have the experience, who's not from the health and fitness space, then this is the best way to do it. Follow these three, and you can't go wrong. You'll get the best supplements that you need.
Coming to a very interesting question, how do these supplements contribute to longevity and better health?
If you look at aging, aging is a natural process. But if you look at, and biohackers are really good at this, in fact, they've done a lot of research on biohacking and longevity and aging and anti-aging and what are the factors that causes our body to age. And one of the factors is mitochondrial dysfunction, or when there is a problem with the mitochondria. Mitochondria is a currency for energy. For ATP is a currency for energy. So mitochondrial health declines with age. If you look at why does it decline with age, what are the factors that contribute towards poor function of mitochondria in the body as we age? So if you look into all that, you get a lot of information, a lot of answers. So if you make a list of all the things, these are the things that causes poor mitochondrial function. if these are 10 things, let's address all 10 of them one by one. And maybe by taking some supplement for out of this 10, maybe few can be corrected by taking a certain supplement. So indirectly or even directly, sometimes supplements can also help in longevity, in optimizing your health, in optimizing mitochondrial health. In fact, there are some supplements that are targeted specifically on your mitochondria.
All right.
Which boosts mitochondrial health. As you know, as people grow older, especially senior citizens, geriatrics, their energy levels decline. So if you can give them something just to boost their energy levels, boost their mitochondria, that will definitely improve the quality of life.
Okay.
So this is where supplements come in.
What about brain health, Aakash? Brain health, you said immunity.
There are certain specific supplements that are great for cognitive function. Omega-3 is one of them. Magnesium is one of them. Magnesium L-threonate is a specific form of magnesium that specifically works on cognitive health on your brain. Okay, works great. Creatine, which is known to be a very popular sports supplement, is probably one of the most researched supplement. Now has cognitive effects. Now we know that it has cognitive effects also and can help with brain health. So it's great for brain health.
All right.
So all these. Then there are these nootropic supplements. Okay, there are separate supplements called nootropics.
What is nootropic?
Nootropics are supplements primarily designed for cognitive function.
Okay.
Ashwagandha, coming to Ayurveda again. Ashwagandha is a nootropic.
Okay.
Lion's mane is another nootropic. So there are a lot of supplements available. So don't dismiss supplements. Because there are a lot of options, a lot of powerful supplements that can really help, that can really change the way your health is. It can transform your health, provided you get the right advice.
Correct.
Now, obviously, you're not going to be taking all of them. Now, if there are 20 nootropics and all 20 of them are good and all of them have been researched, you're not going to pop in 20 of them, right? Okay, if taken right, ashwagandha is an amazing supplement. Not only nootropic, definitely, but it has a lot of advantages in the body if taken the right way. So every supplement in Ayurveda needs to be taken the right way under guidance of an Ayurvedic doctor. In fact, the other day I was reading that ashwagandha, of course, is doing very well globally because suddenly it's catching everyone's attention. Even in the West, a lot of fitness experts are now looking at ashwagandha.
Fitness experts.
Fitness experts, biohackers, people, anti-aging specialists, all of them now recommend ashwagandha for its nootropic properties, cognitive function,
all right.
For what it does to stress, how it helps with stress management. So it's getting very popular. And along with ashwagandha, I was reading there's another supplement called Brahmi. Brahmi is
it's for brain health.
Another very popular Ayurvedic supplement which is getting a lot of attention. But it doesn't matter what the supplement is, you still need to understand what it does in the body.
Tell me one thing, Aakash. Many general practitioners, doctors, they prescribe all these supplements. Okay, go have D3 or whatever, magnesium and everything. Do they have adequate knowledge about supplements? Because they don't have adequate knowledge about nutrition as such.
So there is a interesting field called nutraceuticals, which is now a separate specialization. So you can study nutraceuticals and learn about all this. In medicine, it's more about prescription drugs or supplements used to complement prescription drugs. Given to patients. So it's not so much about preventive healthcare, it's more about symptomatic healthcare. The quality of supplements makes a very big difference. Now, clinical supplements that you get in pharmacies are still supplements and they will still work. But the quality may not be that great. The bioavailability may not be that great.
The reason I'm asking is, recently my cousin called, he was having some issues and he was prescribed calcium carbonate.
So
I said, don't have calcium carbonate.
So I'll give you an example. Vitamin C is absorbic acid. Absorbic acid is vitamin C. It is the lowest quality of vitamin C.
Okay.
But it is still vitamin C. And if you go to a pharmacy and ask for vitamin C, you'll get absorbic acid. That's what you get. Now, absorbic acid is pretty strong and it can irritate your gut. Now, again, there is an argument to this, because they'll say, oh, well, you know what, research proves otherwise. Research shows that it will not irritate the gut and all that. But it can irritate the gut. It depends person to person. For some people, absorbic acid may work perfectly. For some people, doesn't. For me, it always irritates me. So I don't take absorbic acid if I have to take vitamin C. I prefer taking natural extracts of vitamin C. So you need to think about that. But then, generally in a pharmacy, or what doctors prescribe will be absorbic acid, that's vitamin C. Like you said, calcium. What type of calcium? Even B12. You get the methylated form and non-methylated form. The methylated form is always easily absorbed in the body. Folic acid.
Yeah.
Okay, you can methylate it. You get non-methylated. You can methyl folic acid, methylated form. So every component has a more bioavailable version to it. Another thing is, somebody may say, if I'm spending $500 for a certain supplement, why should I spend 5,000 for the same supplement when I'm getting it for 500? Now, for general population, this may work, but let's say somebody who has an autoimmune disorder, who's having metabolic disorder, who's having some medical terminal illness going on, or medical pathology going on. These are the guys where a lot of their normal functions are compromised. The ability to absorb nutrients is compromised. For them, they need the highest quality of supplements available. Now, if you're going to give them poor quality of supplements, okay, it may not work that great for them. Which is why a lot of autoimmune specialists, a lot of functional medicine doctors will also specify the brand of supplements that they prescribe, because they want to make sure that the people are getting the best quality of supplements. Best type that is easily absorbed by the body also, and the quality. You know, if the label says 500 mg, you want 500 mg, not 100 mg. So it all depends. But for somebody who has no problems, who's pretty healthy, fit and fine, can easily go to a pharmacy and get some absorbic acid and take it as vitamin C.
Yeah, because, even this cousin, he says, I've been given calcium carbonate and he already has issues with his gut.
Yeah.
Like, carbonate is going to mess your system
so
even more.
Coming to calcium, so now like I said, there are some supplements that are foundation supplements, and everybody should be taking them. Just to give you an example, your vitamin D3, I don't even call it vitamin, it's hormone D3, because honestly what it does to the body, it works like a hormone. So it is definitely more superior to vitamin. So hormone D3 is the right way to call it. So D3, magnesium and omega-3 are the supplements that work beautifully together. And if you take D3 with K2, MK7, even better. All these 3-4 supplements, everybody should be taking them. The dosage depends on person to person. Again, like I said, depending on your blood levels, depending on your activity levels. Athletes, definitely, if you're physically more active, the requirements are greater for nutrition and for supplementation. If you're not an athlete, your nutrition requirements will be different. How many calories you need in a day will differ based on your physical activity. Which is why athletes will always need more calories, more food, more nutrition, more supplementation, okay, because that's applying logic, applying science. But somebody who's sedentary, who has not much of physical activity, who's diabetic, who's suffering from obesity, obviously his requirements will be very, very different. He is not going to need so much of nutrition, so much of supplementation. So his dosage will perhaps be much lower.
Aakash, you wanted to add something more to the brain health part, Alzheimer's brain health.
Yes, Sarika, thanks for asking that question, because that's very important. Brain health is a huge topic.
Yeah.
But in brief, there are certain supplements that can really help with brain health. Now, when you look at brain health, one of the most common problems is Alzheimer's.
Okay.
And Alzheimer's now is also been called as type 3 diabetes. You have type 1.
Really?
Yeah, you have type 2 and then type 3. Now, type 3 diabetes is basically insulin resistance of the brain. Again, now the diabetes, the reason is the same. Everything starts the same way. It's basically sugar management, insulin resistance. But this is specifically insulin resistance of the brain, which is you have your Alzheimer's. The protocols used to manage diabetes is the same protocols you will also use to manage type 3 diabetes, which is Alzheimer's. But what I'd like to also mention over here, when specifically in talking about brain health, now every disease, every pathology, the precursor is inflammation. Chronic inflammation is the root cause of almost every disease known to man. Okay, now one of the best, not the best, but one of the ways to manage inflammation is looking at your omega-6 to 3 ratios. That's where supplementation again comes in. Omega-6 is pro-inflammatory, omega-3 is anti-inflammatory.
Come again?
Omega-6 is pro-inflammatory. Pro-inflammatory facilitates inflammation.
Okay.
Omega-3 is anti-inflammatory, fights inflammation, manages inflammation, controls inflammation in the body.
Okay.
Now, both are available from food. Okay, we get both from food.
Yeah.
The problem is because of a lifestyle, because of a diet, many factors, even environmental factors, contribute in this. The ratio is important. The ratio of you need both in the body. Okay, for optimal health, you need 6 and 3 both. You can't say, oh, I only want 6, I only want 3. No, you need a ratio, balance of 6 and 3.
Right.
The balance is important. Okay, on paper, the ideal balance should be either 1:3 or 1:4. 1:3 is perfect, but even 1:4 is great. But on paper, 1:4 looks great. In real life, very, very difficult. Very few people have perfect 1:4 balance. Believe it or not, even people who take an omega-3 supplement may not have that perfect balance of 1:4.
Okay.
There is a lot of science in this, where science tells us that 1:4, 1:3 is the perfect balance between 6 and 3, whereby the body works absolutely perfectly the way it should work. Everything functions the way it should work. Brain functions the way it should work. Inflammation comes down. Inflammation is managed beautifully if the balance is 1:3 or 1:4.
Okay.
Or 3:1. Basically, 3 being omega-6 and 1 being omega-3. That ratio is perfect.
Okay.
But when you test, and if you look at the testing of general population in different countries, the ratio goes up to 1:200 and 1:300, 1:80. So basically,
God.
the 6, there's such a big disparity. The 6 is so high and 3 is so low. Now, to correct it, what do? You take a good quality omega-3 supplement. Okay, so automatically you're boosting omega-3. Now, this is with the supplement.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people will say, now omega-3 is basically fish oil. Fish oil comes from fish. So people may think that if I'm eating a lot of fish, I don't need to take an omega-3 supplement. So my question to them is, if you think you're getting enough omega-3 supplement that the body needs, get tested. Let's see your ratio. And more than enough, a lot of people are actually shocked.
Yeah.
Because in the mind, this is what happens when you don't get tested. So I say testing is great if it's available. Not everything can be tested, but if a test is available, why not do it? Okay, it will expose everything that you think is happening or not happening in the body.
Yeah.
So a lot of people take an omega-3 supplement, and it probably could be a really good omega-3, high quality omega-3 supplement, but is it actually working for you?
Okay, supplement working for you is your question. Okay.
Absolutely. Is the supplement actually working for you? You're taking it, but is it working for you? Because fish oil is subject to oxidation. A lot of fish oil gets oxidized even before it enters your body. A lot of people don't know that.
Once you open the bottle or something?
No. In the manufacturing process, it's the oxidation. So you don't really know the quality of fish oil that is actually coming to you and that you're actually consuming. So there is a big quality issue when it comes to fish oil. In fact, a lot of people don't like taking fish oil also because there is something called krill oil, which is a higher quality. And everything is the oxidation is probably negligible in that. The quality is much higher. The price is more expensive because of the quality. The bioavailability, the way the body absorbs it is much better, more superior than your normal fish oil. So a lot of people now prefer taking krill oil. Okay. It's same. It works the same, does the same way, but there is a little bit more of quality control with krill oil. With fish oil, your regular omega-3, believe me, it can cost you absolutely dirt cheap. it can cost you pretty expensive also, but you still don't know if it's actually working for you.
And if we are doing our blood work,
Yeah.
we can test how much omega-6 and 3 is available.
No, so unfortunately, I was going to actually come that at the end. Okay,
the end.
we'll go and talk about the test. There is a test available which measures your omega-6 and 3 ratios. It's a very specific test, not available in a normal lab, not available as a part of a your regular blood test. Some labs in India now have it, but I'm going to talk more about that a little later.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Save the best for last.
Why not? Okay. There's a lot of confusion, right? I mean, you've been saying that from the beginning about selecting which supplements to have, the bioavailability and everything, right? You also gave references of those 3 websites that we can go and check and everything, right?
Yeah.
Now, there are synthetic supplements also, and there are natural supplements also.
Yes.
What are these? I mean, what is the difference?
Like exactly what I said earlier, absorbic acid is a synthetic form of vitamin C.
Okay.
Most of the clinical supplements available in a pharmacy are synthetic forms, which is why they can be quite they're quite concentrated, and they can be quite harsh on the gut.
Okay.
Calcium, if you take the wrong form of calcium, the synthetic form of calcium, which is not very bioavailable, it can actually irritate your gut. For somebody who's already facing having gut issues, that's not really great. Absorbic acid, I wouldn't give absorbic acid to somebody who's already dealing with gut issues. And as you know, that gut issues is so common nowadays. Every third person is dealing with some kind of gut issues.
Yep.
Maybe even at a very, very low intensity. But nevertheless, gut issues are there. So you got to be very careful what kind of supplements you're taking, because you don't want to irritate the gut.
So
supplements, synthetic forms can sometimes irritate the gut.
How do we identify, Aakash, which is synthetic and which is natural?
The label. The label will tell you generally. Generally, all the supplements that you get in a pharmacy are all synthetic forms.
Okay.
Generally.
And what would be a natural supplement? Like ashwagandha would be?
Yeah. Ashwagandha is definitely any natural extract. Like vitamin C, if it's a fruit extract, if it's an amla extract, that would be definitely better.
Got it.
Talking about even methylation, so a lot of supplements need if it's methylated. Now, when you look at a B complex, okay, B complex is very very common, and it's great actually. Taking a B complex is great especially for vegetarians, for vegans, because a lot of deficiencies are there.
Yeah.
It's good to take a B, but again, a B complex, you get a methylated form or a synthetic form. Most of the clinically, commercially available B complexes are all synthetic forms.
Okay.
Methylated forms are much better. In which
what is methylated form?
Easy, more bioavailable.
Process. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like folic acid. Folic acid, you get a methylated form of folic acid, methyl folic acid.
Got it.
There is you get niacin, which is vitamin B3. You get a methylated form of niacin.
Okay.
B12, you get methylated form of B12.
Got
so
it.
If the vitamins are methylated, they're definitely going to be more expensive, because obviously they're methylated, the quality is higher, so they definitely cost you more than a synthetic form.
Right.
But they're definitely worth it long run, because at the end of the day, you're putting in high quality supplements into the body.
Got it.
Which is more bioavailable.
Okay. Can these supplements be harmful also if we take it in excess? They will be, right?
Two things, like we discussed in the beginning. Every supplement serves a specific purpose.
Right.
Just like every micro and macronutrient serves a specific purpose in the body. Dosage is important. If you take less of it, it's not going to work. If you take more of it, it will cause a problem.
It will cause a problem.
So, you want to take exact dosage.
Okay.
Just like we know that D3, 5,000 IUs, 4,000 IUs is a maintenance dose. If you're taking creatine monohydrate, 5 grams is all you need. Even 3 grams works.
Okay.
You don't need to take more than that.
Okay.
So not necessarily too much of a good thing is a good thing. Everything has a dosage.
Right.
Talking about D3.
Yeah.
There is something called a booster dose.
Okay.
Now, if I'm talking about vitamin D3, maintenance dosage can be between 4,000 to 5,000 IUs. And if you're deficient, you probably need to take 60,000 IUs weekly. But depending on the deficiency, a doctor may decide. Again, not all doctors do this. Some doctors will tell you to take a booster dose. So you probably may take 60,000 IUs every day for 3 days.
Okay.
And then taper off. Okay, that is a booster dose to be only taken under supervision. But again, even though it's a booster dose, you only take it for maybe 2 or 3 days max. You don't take it for continuously for 1 week, because taking 60,000 IUs continuously for 1 week, okay, that's too much. You don't need to do, but again, everything has to be administered by a doctor. The doctor decides. Okay, so dosage is very, very, very specific. It's very customized.
I have heard from many people when they are super low on B12 or so, the doctors advise them to take injections.
I'm not in favor of injections because I feel it's very difficult to monitor your levels when you take injections, because when you take injections, your levels obviously go up, but then after a while, at what point do the levels come down? At what point do you need to start supplementing? Because a lot of people will take injections and forget about it, thinking and hoping that your levels have been sorted.
Okay.
Then what happens is, then they don't supplement at all. They only rely on that injections, and eventually after maybe 8 months or maybe after a year, the levels again fall down drastically, and again they need to take injections. So it's like a yo-yo syndrome. The levels go down, then they go up, then they go down, then they go up, and every year then they take injections. I don't really see the need for that. I'd rather take a supplement, a daily supplement, where you maintain your levels consistently, and you can monitor. You take a blood test, you see how much your levels are, how much have they gone down and all. There is no need to take injections, but yes, injections would perhaps be required if your levels are really severely deficient.
Got it.
Yeah, but again, that's a doctor's call.
Okay. Now, coming back to the most fundamental, like people who are watching the podcast will like, this also we need an expert, that also we need an expert, and everything. Is there something like very basic fundamental dosage, or not dosage, rather a combination of supplements that one can take?
That's a really good question. And before I get into that, again, let me just reiterate that whatever advice we give is not medical advice.
Yeah, it's not.
So it's not something that you want to, if you have a medical condition, you need to be more careful. People who don't have a medical condition it's easier for them. But generally, even people with medical conditions need to take these 2-3 basic foundation supplements. But always check with your if you have a functional medicine doctor, or if you know somebody who understands nutraceuticals and supplementation,
right,
or do a supplementation specific program with us, and we will help you. But if you don't want to do any of that, then as a guideline, again, not medical advice, you can start with D3, magnesium, and omega-3, a good quality supplement of all three, and then slowly build on that. Again, D3 will be subject to your blood levels. If your levels are deficient, you will need a different dose. If your levels are good, then you need a maintenance dose, which is between 4,000 to 5,000 IUs. I like to take a D3 supplement with a K2-MK7 supplement, and I like to take something which has both in one. You get very good brands now that do both in one, so it just saves you the hassle of taking each one separately.
D3 and
K2. Yeah, they come together. In fact, at the end of the session, I have a surprise where we will discuss that in detail.
Sure.
So D3 and K2 can go together. They go very well together.
Okay.
And it just saves the hassle. If you're not taking it together, then you're going to have to take it separately. If you're taking D3 separately, then you will need to take a K2-MK7 supplement separately as well.
Okay. Better absorption.
Also K2 is great. Is a transporter for calcium. I mean, in the sense, calcium, like I said earlier, needs to be taken under doctor's prescription, because too much of calcium is also a bad thing. Earlier, the trend was, and I think a lot of women still do this, if they have osteoporosis or if they have weak bones, they just popping in calcium. In fact, that is what they should not do. Too much of calcium can actually cause a lot of problems in the body. So it's better to take calcium under medical supervision. How much to take it, when to take it, how long to take it. I would say, it's better to, So we D3 with K2 magnesium. Omega-3 is your foundation. If you have a B12 deficiency as well, you can add B12, a methylated form of B12. If you're vegetarian, if you're vegan, you can add a B complex, a methylated form of B complex. And there you go, and then you can build your supplement stack. Collagen is something which is great. Again, two schools of thought. So collagen is also, there's a lot of research done on collagen, on the benefits of collagen. But then there is another school of thought which claims that collagen is absolutely a nonsense supplement. It doesn't do anything to you. But it all, so depends. Generally, as you know, vegetarians, vegans will require collagen. It's great to supplement with collagen. In collagen also, there is type 1, type 2, type 3. Depending on the purpose you're taking collagen for. If you're taking it for bone health, any problem in the bones, or for healthy joints, you want to look at collagen type 2. Okay. Otherwise, generally, the supplements that you get in the market, you get a mix of collagen type 1 and type 3 come together. That kind of does a general job. That takes care of all your, a lot of people take collagen for hair, for nails, for bones, for skin. So collagen boosts, helps with all that. A lot of women like to take collagen because of that. So you can add collagen to that. Collagen works great with vitamin C. So vitamin C and collagen can be taken together. If you want to take vitamin C, again, everybody can take 500 mg. If you're an athlete, if you have some more requirements, physical requirements, or if your nutritionist recommends you to take 1000 mg, then you need to take 1000 mg daily. So between 500 to 1000 mg. General vitamin C will come in 500 mg. What you get in a pharmacy, absorbic acid, you get standard dosage of 500 mg. One daily. So you can add vitamin C, but again, it's optional. Then there are a lot of option supplements based on your requirement. You can take vitamin E if you want. So vitamin C, vitamin E, collagen, and then the list can go on based on on your requirement, what medical problems you have. You can take ALA, alpha lipoic acid, if you want better sugar management. ALA works great for sugar management. You can add ALA.
The selenium for people like me who have thyroid.
Works great for thyroid. Also, dosage is important. Again, sometimes you will see selenium in a multivitamin also, but the quantity of selenium is very minuscule. So it's better to take a selenium supplement separately if you're taking for a specific purpose. If you have high homocysteine levels, methylated folic acid can help with that. Now, when I say, there is a difference when I say can and will. When I say can, that means it may or may not work. But there is no harm in trying it. Research may be a little gray. There may be research saying that it's not really going to work. But at the same time, there are some people who believe it may help. So then I will say may help. But when I know that something is definitely going to help, like if you have a D3 deficiency, you take 5000 IUs or 10,000 IUs of D3, it will work. There is no question about that. Okay, so some supplements will definitely work, some supplements may work, but there is no harm in trying it. Now, for a lot of cardiac markers, so let's go through some of them. One is high homocysteine levels. A methylated form of folic acid and TMG are some supplements that can help. Another way that people can actually use this podcast is to take all the information from here. Like when we talk about a supplement, it will work for a certain condition. It's good to make a list of all those names and then ask their nutritionist or ask their physical health practitioner or ask their doctor that, I heard these supplements may help me. Will they help me? Do I need to take them? How much do I need to take? Okay. Rather than just blindly following advice.
And you're making a well-informed decision.
Because we are just giving guidelines. We're not giving medical advice.
Correct.
Because even for a doctor to give medical advice, he needs to assess the patient. He needs to look at blood reports. A lot of factors. Even when we do a supplementation program, we need to see blood reports. Okay. And everything needs to be customized. There is a full consultation where we understand your lifestyle, your requirements, your body type, everything, and then so there are a lot of factors that come into play before we even prescribe supplements. So it's good to just understand the supplements that may work, may help, because most people don't even know these supplements exist and how they can help their medical condition.
Right.
So we're just spreading awareness about that. We're just helping people, just guiding people. Okay, you know what? If you hit the nail right on the spot, on the head, if you get the right supplements that you need, trust me, you can really help your health in ways you can't even imagine. A lot of your deficiencies, the way your body functions, a lot of pathways can actually start working much better, and even working if they were not working earlier by just supplementing. That's how effective and powerful they are. But the thing is, you need the right supplements, the right quality, the right dosage for it to work.
Correct. So if one wants to figure out, okay, whether the supplement, whichever I am taking, is working on me or no, is through blood work, right?
Generally through blood work, yeah.
And to see signs if you feel any improvement.
If you're taking the supplements for certain things, then definitely, if you're taking something for gut health, then definitely your gut should feel better. That's where probiotics comes in. So probiotics can also be a part of your supplement stack.
Yeah.
The only problem with probiotics is it's more like shooting in the dark.
Yeah, many people say it may work, it doesn't work.
Because the thing is, it's all about the strains. Now, there is your good bacteria in your gut. There are many strains of good bacteria.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to actually figure out which strains are missing. I mean, yeah, they do have tests. They do have gut microbiome tests.
Nowadays,
also.
Yeah, we have those options.
How accurate that is, how precise that is again a lot of people feel it's not very accurate. So it's very difficult to actually get very accurate information.
Okay.
Also, gut health and your gut microbiome is so complicated that even till today there is a lot that we know about it, but there is also a lot that we don't know, and we are getting to know about it. Okay, so it's a bit of a gray area there. So then it's always good to take one that covers most strains, the entire spectrum of strains. So at least you may not know what's missing, but at least you know it's got everything, and hopefully it will help you with your gut health. A lot of people think that taking curd, yogurt, and buttermilk does the job, and then they don't need more probiotics. Let me differentiate. Now I'm going to apply a little bit of Ayurveda to this, because if I don't apply Ayurveda, then if you go by the conventional wisdom, everybody will think yogurt is generally taken for good probiotics. Everybody will tell you yogurt is good for probiotics and all. But if you apply Ayurveda, you will exactly understand why buttermilk is way far more superior to yogurt when it comes to probiotics.
Really?
Yeah. So
despite adding so much water,
you can add whatever you want in yogurt. Okay. Each one is very different. The Ayurvedic properties of buttermilk and Ayurvedic properties of yogurt is very, very different. In fact, buttermilk is light, yogurt is very heavy.
Yes.
As per Ayurveda.
Correct. This much I know.
So when you apply Ayurveda, somebody who needs probiotics should consume more of buttermilk.
All right.
Not curd. Okay, not curd, buttermilk. And then when you add certain spices in buttermilk, that makes it even better.
Okay.
You add mint and lot of spices, jeera and all that.
Ginger, cumin powder.
So that makes it even better. But having said that, buttermilk is great to maintain a healthy gut.
Okay.
Okay, just like 5,000 IUs of vitamin D3 is great to maintain D3 levels. But if you have a compromised gut,
having buttermilk is not going to help.
And you can have as much buttermilk as you want. Then you definitely need more aggressive intervention.
Right.
Okay, now that aggressive intervention could be in terms of an Ayurvedic treatment, an Ayurvedic doctor, or conventional doctor.
Okay.
A conventional functional medicine doctor, because I like functional medicine, and I keep saying it again because functional medicine also goes a lot into gut health compared to normal doctors.
Yep. Now, I am very curious about
the goodies section.
Goodies. We've given him a tray and a place to keep all the goodies.
So this is something that we thought of, and giving you absolute something to take back with you.
Yeah.
What I have here with me are some of the supplements that I currently use or may have used in the past. Some are local, some are not local, some I have picked up from abroad on my travels. And I will go through each one of them and just perhaps just give you a brief summary of each one, and will help you to understand a lot about supplementation. So we're going to start with the Now Foods. Now Foods is an international brand of supplement, now available in India also.
Okay.
I think you get them on Amazon as well. I like them. I like the quality of supplements, and all their supplements are pretty good quality.
Okay.
Astaxanthin this is 4 mg astaxanthin. Astaxanthin is a very powerful antioxidant.
Okay.
It's great for the eyes. Also great for cellular protection. Now this is 4 mg. 4 mg is basic. If need be, you may need to take even 12 mg.
Okay.
Again, depends. It has to be customized, but it's a great supplement. Also good for the eyes. Trexgenics. Recently, I just received some samples from them. I really like them. They're a local company.
Okay.
But one of the best high quality supplements in the Indian market today.
Okay.
Very good. What I have, they have a whole. So the good thing is they have the regular supplements, but they also do a whole plethora of supplements that other brands don't carry.
Okay.
Very specific supplements. So like I said, if you need something specific for a certain problem or certain deficiency, these are the guys you want to go to.
Okay.
They don't retail directly. All their supplements are available on Amazon.
All right.
It's Trexgenics. This is a methylated B complex supplement, which I take.
Okay.
Okay. Very happy with their brand and the kind of supplements they carry.
All right.
Do Not Age is an international brand. I picked this up when I was in London. Very, very popular in Europe.
Okay.
Very high quality. I like them also. So if you're abroad, this is one of the brands, high quality brands. All their supplements are very good.
Okay.
Now, I like this blend because this is a D3, K2 and magnesium, all three in one.
I haven't seen a combination of these.
Yeah. So again, so I always prefer D3 and K2 together.
Yeah.
This is D3, K2 and magnesium. Now, the dosages are important. So even if you see a blend, even locally, you'll get a lot of blends, but it's very important to see the dosages.
Okay.
In fact, today I met somebody and he was asking me about magnesium and zinc. There was a local brand having a blend of magnesium and zinc. And generally, when you see a blend like that, the magnesium always goes down. You will never find 400 or 500 mg of magnesium in it. Okay. So very important to check the dosage, especially when it's in a blend. Now, this has the perfect blend. D3 and K2 are absolutely in the right ratio as it should be, the blend. But the magnesium over here is 250 mg of magnesium L-threonate. Okay. The magnesium L-threonate is a different type of, now as we were discussing earlier, many different kinds of magnesium available.
Yes.
Some are more bioavailable than the other, and some have a specific purpose.
Okay.
Magnesium threonate is specifically really good for cognitive function.
Okay.
Okay, for brain health, stress. This contains 250 mg of, I think it's 250 mg of magnesium threonate. Is that enough magnesium for me? No. So what I will do is I will take this, of course. I'm getting 250 mg of magnesium threonate, but I'll also supplement with additional separate magnesium, so that my goal is about 400 to 500 mg.
Okay.
Okay. This is not going to give me that much. So which is why I also take, this is ACE blend. Okay. This is, I think, 440 mg of magnesium.
Okay.
Okay. Now, this you need to take two caps to give you 440 mg. Okay. So, you need to be very sure on the dosage also. If I need to see on the label, sometimes a single dosage can be 1 capsule. Sometimes a single dosage can be 2 capsules.
Oh.
Sometimes a single dosage can be 3 capsules.
Okay.
Okay. So, if it says 3 capsules single dosage, you need to take 3 capsules to get that much of the dosage.
Got it.
People don't understand that. There is a supplement called ZMA. ZMA generally comes with as a supplement, and the dosage is 3 capsules, standard. It's 450 mg of magnesium with zinc. It's a standard blend, standard formula that you get across all brands. 3 capsules gives you 450 mg of magnesium of ZMA. If for some people think that 3 capsules is too much and take only 1, they're not going to get 450 of magnesium. So it goes waste. Okay.
Correct.
So be very careful on a dosage. If the label says dosage 2 capsules, you need 2 capsules. Now this dosage is 2 capsules 440 mg. So I take 440 mg additional to this.
Yeah.
Because this only has 250 mg of magnesium threonate. Okay, this is a good blend. So you get magnesium glycinate. I like magnesium glycinate a lot because it is probably the most bioavailable form of magnesium. It is a general all-purpose magnesium. Whenever if you're confused which type of magnesium to take,
go for
glycinate does the best.
Okay,
it works the best. This Ace blend, I like this company a lot. They also do a very good fish oil. The omega-3 is also pretty good.
Okay.
They also do very good vegan protein supplement.
Right.
Yeah, if you're looking for a good vegan protein, they're pretty good with that as well. And plus, they have a lot of other products as well.
Okay.
So this is a blend of magnesium. A blend of magnesium is generally they take different forms of magnesium, and there is a bit of all. It's a mix of different. There's a bit of glycinate in this also, and there's some other forms also.
Okay.
And so you can also take a blend as long as it meets your dosage requirement. If you need 300, you need 300.
You need 300.
Whether it's a blend, whether it's a single form of magnesium, that dosage is important.
Got it.
So this is magnesium. Also, it's good to take magnesium before bed, sleep, because magnesium facilitates sleep. It induces sleep. It helps with cognitive function. So it's good for stress. It relaxes the body, relaxes the mind. So good to take it before bed.
Okay.
Yeah. This is Unived. Unived is a great local company. Unived. Okay, even I like their products also. This one is a B12 and folate. I take this for folate. It's a methylated folic acid.
All right.
Yeah. So that's now here it says B12 plus folate, but the B12 is very, very less. Okay, so you can't. So if I see something like this, and if I think that I'm taking this for B12 also, I don't need to take anything with B12. No, you need to look at the label, see the quantity of each.
Right.
So I take this for folic acid because primarily the folic acid, the methylated form is higher. So I take it for this. The B12 is negligible. It's there. It's printed on the label, but I don't take this for B12.
You're taking it for folate, yeah.
But because I need B12, I will take a separate B12 supplement, which I don't think I have it here. So that is only B12.
Okay.
Okay, that is so that I get enough B12 that I need to take.
Right.
For my dosage.
Okay.
So this is done. Okay.
Yeah.
Swiss, another great company, very popular in Singapore. In fact, when I was in Singapore, this is before Swiss was launched in India. All the supplement stores were carrying this brand a lot, and it was selling a lot. A very high quality supplement, and I picked up some from there as well. But then when I came back to India, I saw this was launched in India as well.
Okay.
So very high quality. So anything that you get from here is great. Okay, but again, be careful of dosage.
Right.
They do magnesium also. They do D3 also. They do everything, but the dosages are important.
Okay.
So the dosage is not right, then it doesn't really.
So we all have to start learning to read the fine print.
Absolutely.
All the labels.
The fine print.
Yeah.
The type. Now this is this is folic acid. This is folate.
Yeah.
Now folate, you get different forms of folate. You want to make sure. Now if you look at the label, I'm not wearing my glasses. Okay, but this is the methylated form of folate of folic acid.
Okay.
Okay, so that's important. B12. Okay, if you look at the back, they're all methylated forms of B complex. Sorry, B complex, not B12. So the type is important.
Type is important.
Yeah. Then of course, the brand is also important because you want to make sure you're getting very high quality brand.
Quality brand.
So yeah. This is CoQ10. Decode Age, another great local brand which I really like a lot. Very high quality supplements. They do a lot of longevity supplements also, but they also do the regular supplements. So this is CoQ10. CoQ10 is great for mitochondrial function. Remember I spoke about mitochondrial health.
Yes.
This is great for, this is coenzyme Q10. Ubiquinol is the actual form of it. So again, CoQ10, it's got to be ubiquinol. So you want to make sure it's written ubiquinol, CoQ10. Otherwise, it may be another form as well.
Okay.
Same CoQ10. So the form is important. Okay, this is 100, I think this is 100 mg dosage. Yeah, which is standard dosage.
Okay.
Okay, they also do a very good magnesium supplement called Max 7.
Okay.
What I also like about them is a supplement called DAKE, D-A-K-E. Okay, that's vitamin D, A, K, and E. So you don't need to take anything separately.
You take
They both are beautifully integrated with the right dosages together. So you get DAKE, 5,000 IUs of D3 in one supplement.
Okay.
Which is why it is always out of stock.
Oh.
Because Decode Age is the only one that sells DAKE. In fact, DAKE was started by Dave Asprey. Dave Asprey has his own company called, I think it's Upgrade Lab or Subgrade Lab.
Okay.
So he started with this blend of DAKE.
All right.
Okay, and I really like that a lot. They're all fat soluble vitamins. So fat soluble vitamins go very well with after some fat. So if you're having some fat in a meal, it goes very well after that meal. So it's great to take this after breakfast, after lunch. Yeah.
Okay.
So all the fat soluble vitamins are in this one supplement, and it covers DAKE. That is DAKE. This is CoQ10.
That's a good one. Yeah.
And save the best for last. How could we not talk about omega-3, which is one of the main supplements that everyone must take. This is Zinzino essential oil. Zinzino is a Swedish international global company. This is probably the best fish oil supplement in India today.
Okay.
Recently launched in the Indian market, and probably one of the best globally.
Okay.
This is not available in any retail outlet or Amazon. Yeah. No, this is only available through the licensed distributors globally.
Okay.
Extremely potent. Comes with polyphenols in triglyceride form. In the perfect ratio of your omega-3 ratio that it should be. Also, another good thing is this is to be taken as per your weight. So the dosage differs person to person. Not like generally, if you take an omega-3 or triple complex omega-3 or triple strength omega-3, double strength omega-3, you may have to take 3 capsules or 2 capsules or 1 capsule depending on what's written on the label. And that stands valid for everyone.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're taking 1 capsule, everybody else takes 1 capsule also, irrespective of your weight, your height, how much you need. So it's a very blanket prescription.
Right.
Now, as we know with supplements, blanket prescriptions don't work. You know, D3 is a perfect example. You take D3 based on your blood levels. Okay, so similarly, this supplement is to be taken as per your weight. There is a formula that is there that the company will tell you when you take the supplement from them. So it's as per your body weight.
Okay.
So you take only as much you need, not less, not more, which makes it absolutely precise.
Okay.
Okay, and in fact, they also tell you that you can manage your levels in 120 days. Your 6 to 3 levels in 120 days. It is that powerful, that potent.
And I think this is the only supplement which is...
And I kid you not. And another thing I'd like to say that we don't get anything from any of these brands. There are no affiliations.
We're not promoting anybody.
These are random brands that I have picked up in my experience of so many years. Wherever I travel, if I like something, I will try it out. In my research, I do a lot of research on finding the best supplement available that can help people, that can help everyone. So no affiliations. We're not getting anything from any of the brands.
Yep.
So if I'm talking about a specific brand, I'm just talking about it because I genuinely believe in it.
Yeah.
And I genuinely believe it can help people.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And I have tried, let me tell you something about this. I have tried almost every omega-3 brand locally, and even from the US, abroad. I earlier, before all the brands were available in India, I used to get a lot of my supplements from my relatives abroad, and I mean, very kind of them. Whoever is coming. In fact, they'd always ask you that, what do you need, anything, and people would always get clothes and chocolates. And I said, please, I don't want anything, only get me my supplements. In fact, 20 years back, it would be whey protein, because that time whey protein supplement was barely launched in India, and the quality was not that great. In fact, I don't remember. It came in very much later. The US was flooded with protein supplements, and I had my relatives from the States carrying buckets despite having so much luggage of whey protein powder from me from the US.
Wow.
Okay,
That was
and
really sweet of them.
yeah. So that's my journey started way back then, and since then we've come a long way. And now I don't need to get whey protein from them because you get the best quality in India as well. But I still keep getting a lot of small bottles. A lot of these small supplements from the US.
Yeah.
It's cheaper there. The quality is much better.
Okay.
Easily available. So yeah, I want to thank all my kind relatives for sending me stuff from there. This is coming back to omega-3. This is Enzino. This is available only through authorized distributors globally. We are Sutraleticss. We are one of the authorized distributors for Enzino. And the good thing about this is it's available all over the world globally. In fact, if you go to the website, you'll be surprised how many regions, how many markets, how many countries they cover. Okay. There is a specific portfolio assigned for every country, which means the products that they sell for every country can differ a bit. In fact, there may be more, but the basic foundation fish oil is available in all countries. So what you get in Singapore, what you get in America, what you get in UK is exactly the same thing you're getting in India. Okay, there is no quality. They have even tried to standardize the price. So whether you buy it from here, whether you buy it from the US, you're paying more or less the same. It doesn't make a difference. The good thing is that while being in India, if I have a member or somebody I want to help in the US or in UK, I can still order for them while being in India. So globally, all the countries are open for me. All the markets are open for me.
Oh, nice.
Which is why we are helping people. We are supplying this product to a lot of people all over the world. And now they have recently launched in India.
Okay.
And especially for people who are dealing with medical disorders, medical pathologies, I would strongly recommend them to forget the trial and error with the other brands. This is what you want. This is coming back to your question about testing for omega-3. Is there a test to measure your 6 and 3 levels?
These guys.
This comes with the test. It's a home test.
Oh.
Just like you have a diabetes test in the house that you can check in the house with just a drop of blood. This comes with the home test.
Okay.
That's the unique thing about them. These are the only guys that comes with the test. So you can test before taking the product, or you can test after taking the product. A lot of people test before and after. If you can test before, then test again after 120 days. That's how they recommend you test after 120 days, and you can exactly tell the difference, how much the omega-3 has improved. Yeah, you have an option of buying this with the test. You have an option of buying it without the test.
Okay.
You have an option of buying the test separately. So a lot of options are there, but it just helps to test. A lot of people think that the fish oil is helping them. Get tested, and most of the time people are shocked. A lot of people, athletes, think that their health is pretty good, the inflammation levels are pretty good, and everything is working great. Get tested, they see the results and they're shocked. You'll never believe that some of the fittest people have very poor omega-3 ratios.
Wow.
Yeah, that's because of inflammation. Remember, exercise is a stress to the body.
Yes.
Okay, exercise creates inflammation in the body. Okay, so is that a good thing or a bad thing? People who exercise will always have to deal with inflammation.
Correct.
People who don't exercise will probably think that I don't have inflammation. So why do we need to exercise? Because exercise gives inflammation. But we want that inflammation. That inflammation is not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But the problem comes is when you over-exercise, when you overtrain, when athletes don't give enough time to rest and recovery. Okay, that's when the inflammation, there's chronic inflammation, there's acute inflammation.
Yeah.
Right? Acute inflammation comes down, chronic inflammation doesn't come down, it stays up and it kind of gets elevated. And so that's when there is not enough rest and recovery given to the body. Exercise is a good thing, we all know that. But when too much of a good thing, we know it's not a good thing. It's just like supplements.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everything has to be done very, very strategically, in moderation. Exercise should be done in moderation. But people who exercise a lot and don't give enough time for rest and recovery will have elevated inflammation levels always. And when you do the test, you will see the difference. So a lot of people who exercise a lot, they get very shocked that why we do everything right, we eat well, we exercise well, and yet our 6:3 ratio is absolutely messed up. That's because of the inflammation levels.
Wow.
And there is no way of finding out unless you take the test. So I am always for testing. Okay. There are a lot of tests that are really not required, and you end up spending a lot of money on doing baseless tests. But tests that can really help you, give you a lot of information on what's going on in the body, I'm always for it. Why not? You know.
So coming back to the tests of omega, most of the labs do these tests, right? What was your response? What did you say about the test?
So this test, the specific test, this is basically to measure your 6:3 ratio.
Yeah.
Okay, is not done by a lot of labs. It's not a common test.
Common test.
Yeah, not a common test. In India, now, earlier no, but now I see some labs doing it, but I am not sure which labs, and I am also not sure how legit they are.
Right.
Okay, the test that comes with this, the lab is in Sweden. This is an international lab with the latest international standards. Okay, your test, your blood, you just need a drop of blood. Your blood swab goes directly to Sweden. Okay. It gets analyzed over there in the lab. There is no lab in India that analyzes the report here. It goes to Sweden, and your reports are sent to you online. It takes 2 to 3 weeks for your reports to come. And along with your 3 and 6 ratio, there is a load of other reports that you get with it, which gives you a lot of information about what's going on in the body.
Wow.
A lot of reports. So it's a very exhaustive report that you get with this.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you don't want to test, fine, don't test, just take the product, because you know it's a very high quality. This is definitely going to work for you. Another thing, this also improves your lipid profile. I kid you not, I was saying I have tried almost every fish oil supplement internationally and in India. And the difference I have seen in my lipid profile, nothing compared to what this does to my lipid profile. The difference I have seen what this, and I'm, you know, I'm not just saying it. My HDL level has gone up tremendously after this, taking this.
Okay.
It improves your entire lipid profile. You know, which others may or may not, or even may take a really long time. So I definitely know this is working. So I would definitely recommend this to, you know, especially senior citizens, people who have health issues, who are dealing with a lot of metabolic conditions. This will just give them that extra boost. Brain health is great.
Okay.
You know, so it's very important to, so I always say take few. You don't have to take 20, 30 supplements. Take very few supplements. Take only the ones you need them, but take them of the highest quality.
The best
highest quality that you can afford. Because they will help you one day. Unfortunately, we are a very price sensitive market, and we evaluate health just like we evaluate shoes and watches and clothes. We want to go for the cheapest deal available, which is why when we walk into a pharmacy, we look for the cheapest medicine available. We walk into a supplement store, we look for the cheapest vitamin C and cheapest.
And we might look for the best of scotch and whiskey, the most expensive ones.
So we will spend on other things. We will spend on watches. We will spend on travel. We will spend on first class tickets. But when it comes to health, we do not want to make that investment.
Yeah, which is sad.
So request everyone to please do not compromise on health. Health is what will serve you till the last.
Yeah.
Everything else will come and go.
True.
But if you have health, you have everything.
If you don't, and having loads of money is not going to help you.
Absolutely
so,
not.
In any ways, On that note, was a wonderful conversation.
Thank you so much.
My God, there's so much of learning. Oof,
and this is just the you know, tip of the iceberg.
My head is reeling with information.
Just getting your foot into the door. So there is so much, but again, let's reiterate our message so that it's very, very loud and clear. One is, this is not medical advice.
Absolutely.
Okay, we do not recommend you to substitute food with supplements. Supplements are only an add-on. Okay, they just helps bridge that gap what nutrition cannot give you. It is a very powerful protocol, a very effective protocol, but it needs to be done strategically under supervision. And everyone's supplementation plan will be different from each other.
If you just want to disseminate the information, the knowledge with you all.
We just want to empower everyone so that you have the information, you know what supplements can do to you. If you have certain elevated levels, certain blood markers that are not looking that great, maybe supplements can help.
Thank you so much, Aakash.
Thank you. Pleasure being here.
Yeah.
And thank you, Sarika, for this opportunity.
Always. Every session is like a lot of knowledge being bombarded by Aakash. So I hope you like this episode, and I hope you were sitting with your pen and paper and making some notes. And do leave your comments. Let us know how you find this episode. And thank you for watching. Thank you.
Thank you.